Well, welcome back, team, to another episode of Big Wick Energy Podcast. I'm joined by our co-host, one, the only Jordan Jackson, and the big man himself, Ali. Today we're going to be talking about fundamentals for day trading, how that affects the market, how it affects your trading, and there may be times where you've just seen random spikes in price action that you have no idea why that's happening. And this is most likely why it's going to be happening. The fundamentals is the key to understanding where the market's going to be going. So let's get into it and hopefully help improve your trading.
Tell me what you want. What you really want. I wanna be down.
Fundamentals, lads. It's probably one of those things that most people don't look into until they're sort of right into day trading. Sort of got everything else down packed, and now they have the understanding of what they should be looking for. Now they're trying to look for why things are happening. Tell us your experience.
Exactly. So for me, obviously, coming on board with you guys this year, leading up to the start of this year, I didn't really take fundamentals into account. I'd try and stay up for news and think I could read it.
Yeah.
And the market humbled me a few times. But yeah, so like you were saying, Huddy, it is like the final piece, and it was for me. Being able to learn fundamentals is kind of gives you the why, like why the market is doing what it's doing and why potentially market structure is setting up to do what we predict it's going to do.
Yeah. Would you say that, like obviously going into end of last year, you're getting pretty successful in your trading there, mostly looking at the whole technical side of thing?
Just technicals.
Just technicals?
Yeah.
Because like when you were posting your charts and stuff, it was looking pretty on, and I could see that. I could see that in everything that you were posting, which was awesome to see. How would you say learning fundamentals over the last month has sort of developed your trading so far?
I think it's helped give me like an overall bias of the week to come, pretty much, instead of just taking it like I was just looking at it day by day with my technicals. Now I can see the overall, potentially where we're going this month, the next few months, after Trump coming in and all that, or just the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the higher time frame, eh?
Similar to getting stuck in the lower time frame, So yeah, that was it for me, just helping me see like the bigger picture, not just getting stuck, logging in every day. This, which is what we do daily anyway, but there's like a bigger picture, and you can see the bigger moves that could potentially happen.
Yeah, nice.
What about you, bro? You get into fundamentals much?
Yeah, bro. Major key. Fundamentals have like helped me. I was telling you guys the other day how I made like 20K in that in one of those Apex accounts in one trade, and that was just from like red folder, perfect entry, just because I knew it was going to come to a level, and those levels are from like volume profile, whether it's like a monthly level or a weekly level. And you can just see like, all this price coming down towards this level before a red folder hits. And then when that red folder hits, it's just going to sweep all that liquidity that it's just made coming down. So like, you get in that price and move before a red folder. So that's been mega helpful, just like, looking at Forex Factory, looking at red folders, what's coming up this week, next week. So yeah, major key to understand like market timing and fundamental timing. So yeah, when you can get those things together and you merge technicals with fundamentals, that's like such an unreal edge. And like a lot of people on social media just you know, they say stay away from news trading, or like just stay away from all that kind of stuff, just because they think it's unpredictable, they think it's gambling. But when you understand technicals, you build up your data on the technicals with the fundamentals. You can use that to your edge.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you
Yeah.
see so many people on social media like bagging fundamentals and like not looking at fundamentals at all, just a technical trader type of thing.
But even with news, like you don't have to catch that move. You can catch all of it afterwards.
Right, yeah, afterwards as well.
And then that comes back to technical, because you can see that structure forming, and then yep, let's ride that back up
Yeah,
or down, whatever, you know.
yeah.
So it's not always about. I mean, it's nice to get that news move, what you can make in a minute or less.
Yes, sir.
But like that was probably my intro into news trading, was not necessarily trading that first move, but seeing if there was a setup afterwards and all that room to move, you know.
Yeah, bro. Like when I first seen Huddy trading red folders, I was like, man, this guy's crazy. Like he's a gambler. I was like, how does this guy know? But like, 80% of the time you were calling them right. And I was just like, fuck, this guy like just has an edge with fundamentals, and you were so locked into fundamentals, you were always talking about it. And like the more I was hanging out with you, the more it started to make sense to me.
True.
Yeah. And then now like I'm starting to like build up confidence and, trading news and doing all that kind of stuff. So I think seeing someone trade it all the time compared to all the social media that I was looking at, everyone's just saying don't do it. And here's this multi-follow just trading it. Like, it's like, bah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit different, eh? Like, I learned I don't even know what it is. I mean, I guess my personality, I've always wanted to know why things happen.
Yeah.
When I started learning trading, people were telling me, what to do, what to look for, but not telling me why specifically we're doing this, look for this, pattern to happen and then enter into this sort of trade. And like, it didn't make sense to me when you think about it, logically, it's like, okay, why does it do that? And why would we enter into that? Which sort of took me to starting to look into, the reasons why. And I mean, it kind of makes sense, especially when we're trading currencies, USD, AUD, whatever it's going to be. These are actual currencies and of a country. And so it's not just moving just so that people can make money. It's moving because they're trying to bring value into their dollar, which means that within that country, they have to increase interest rates, increase inflation rate, decrease inflation rate and decrease interest rates. And you sort of just get that wave of, things are going up, things are going down, where when you look at it, it's, going into recession and then going into expansion. It's just something that's going to happen, throughout the world. And most people don't understand that. They look at trading as if it's just a chart just going up and down. But yeah, like fundamentals is a reason why the markets are moving. Just to break down what fundamentals are for anyone that doesn't understand, it's basically news events, economic events, everything like that is going to have an effect on currency. So, for example, everything that's going on with Donald Trump at the moment is bringing a lot of value into the stock market, into gold, devaluing USD at the moment, but eventually we probably are going to see that pushing up higher as well, because obviously they want to be bringing value back into the USD. But yeah, anything like that, any piece of news that has to do with your pretty much the country's everyday life is going to have an effect on that country's currency, and we are trading currencies, so it's foolish not to be looking at that type of thing and as a trader not thinking it's worth your time.
Yeah, it blows my mind, because it's like it's what moves the market. It's what like really makes the candles. Like you were saying, we go into recessions and expansions, and when you look at a chart, it's pretty much like a bear trend or a bull trend. Like on a very basic level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Do you want to elaborate on that, bro? Like why does inflation affect the market? Like, how does it affect the currency? Like the strength of a currency, things like unemployment rates. How does that affect the strength of a currency? All that kind of stuff. Like not NFP, non-farm payroll. Like maybe.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, if a country has a high unemployment rate, that means majority of the people, or like a percentage of the people, aren't working. When people aren't working, there's no taxes being paid, and the government's having to pay them what do you call it, like welfare, so that they can survive, which comes out of taxpayer money. So when unemployed people, when unemployment is on the rise, that means that the government isn't going to be making money from tax. Whereas on the other end, if there's heaps of jobs available, if there's expansion happening, unemployment rates going down, then that means more people are paying tax. More people have more money to then buy houses, which then is paying for interest rates. Then they're paying tax and stuff on that. And everyone's paying tax on retail stuff as well, GST, all of that. So basically, like it's a cycle that everyone has to go through. Expansion's going to happen, and it's inevitable. Because when we look back to say, the property market, when our parents were buying houses, they were buying houses for like less than 50,000 outright. Whereas now, like, we're buying houses for millions. Like, it's crazy. But then when you look at the property market over time, it's had expansion. And back then, it might have been worth, $50,000, but the interest rate that they were paying back then was like 20%. Yeah, that was crazy. It was still only 20% on 50 grand. But they had to pay that, and obviously they could afford that, but they found it hard back then as well because there wasn't much money to be made, and it's the same sort of stuff. So there was expansion then, which obviously in the market creates that higher high. And then we have, recession, which, everything ends up coming down and creates that higher low within the market. And if you have a look at any market over the last 50 years, doesn't matter whether it's stock market, property market, wheat market, you will see it like spiking to create that new high and then coming down to create that new low, and then the cycle continues. And I think I was talking to one of my family members trying to explain that sort of thing over a longer period of time, and he sort of understood it from that perspective, understanding that where my grandparents bought our family home at, which I think they got it for like 30,000, but then over time it's gone from 30,000. They own it outright now, and it's worth like 1.5 or something. But it's the only thing that it's crazy. The only thing that's happened really is the government and the country's just been trying to push the value of the dollar higher and higher. And that's just where everything's going to go. It's crazy to think that it's not going to happen. But everyone thinks too, like once we hit like the peak, like when I was in real estate, we hit like a peak where, houses had just gone nuts. I think the market had increased by like 50% or 60% or something. And everyone's like, holy shit, like we need to get in now. We need to buy now because it's just going to keep going. Then all of a sudden everyone's buying up here, and then boom, the market just drops. And that was sort of the time that I ended up getting out of real estate because, everyone had expectations to sell up here, but then the banks were only lending down here, so no one could actually buy. And so market ended up coming down, and it's just recession, like it's just how it's created. It's crazy.
One of the questions I remember asking you at the start of my trading journey was like, why is there a higher high and then a higher low? Why can't we just keep pushing highs? Like, why doesn't the market just always go up? Like, it doesn't make sense. If you want to strengthen your dollar, then just keep pushing it. And you said it was like, and it makes so much sense because it's like if you're gonna push the strength of your dollar, you're just taxing everyone in your population, and so everyone's just getting taxed all this money, you know, and they like can't really go live their lives because they're paying so much tax.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can push that, like have a really strong dollar, but then, you know, everyone in your population is just spending so much money on tax, GST, all that kind of stuff. And so that's why the market cycles goes up and down, is because when it comes down, that's when people start paying, you know, not less tax, but like things start to get cheaper, the cost of living starts to get cheaper.
Cheaper than what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheaper than what it was up here.
Yeah.
Once it comes down here, you're like, oh man, it's coming back down.
Yeah.
But what they don't realize is like, you know, say that it stopped at like 350 per house. And then before that, the low before that, like where everyone was sort of sitting at, was like 250. You know? But then it goes up to 350.
Yeah.
And on the way back down, it'll stop at like, say, 300.
Yeah.
And then that's the norm again.
Yeah.
Then it'll go up to 450. Yeah. Come back down to like 400, and then that's the norm. And over time, people just get, you know, so used to, you know, prices being here that at the high, they're like, oh my God, you know, freaking out.
Yeah.
But once it comes down to the low, they're like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just, yeah, again, a cycle.
Yeah. Just to keep the balance in the market.
Well, that's what it is, yeah. And when we look at it as a technical reference, we're really just creating higher high, coming down to create that higher low, and just balancing out the market, creating the equilibrium within the market where everyone's sort of happy, and they sort of just get that from the general public. So everyone's, you know, sort of starting to spend money again. And once everyone feels comfortable about spending money, you know, wages go up, average dollar per hour goes up, average salary goes up, and people end up having money to then spend again.
Yeah.
And then everyone's spending money on retail stuff, paying more tax, and
Some countries do it better than other countries, though.
way better, bro.
Like NZ, up to. Cost of living there's outrageous.
It's
Right.
actually crazy.
Yeah, like back home, bro. You know, we went to Coles the other day over here, and back home, like half a watermelon's like outrageous, like $18 for half a watermelon. What? Bro, go to Coles here. You look at like a whole watermelon, and it's like $1.50.
Is it actually?
Bro, it's wild. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Cost of living's outrageous in New Zealand. So,
I know eggs are like crazy expensive,
yeah.
as opposed to eggs here. Like you get eggs at Costco, bro. It's like 60 for $20.
Bro, that's unreal. So if you're looking at the NZD USD chart, you can just see bear trend.
Yeah, actual.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
sort it out, Luxon. Shucks.
I was watching the morning shift the other day. Did you see that?
No, what was that? What are they saying?
They had I think they did like an AI generated thing about New Zealand.
Oh,
Can we just have a look at that?
yeah. Oh,
It's crazy.
yeah. If you trade the NZD USD, definitely look at the OCR, the official cash rate. That's like New Zealand's interest rates. So that's a good red folder to keep an eye on. I think Aussie just had their one last week.
Did New Zealand just have it today?
Oh, was that today?
Yeah.
Oh, true.
11. Was it 11?
Yeah, it would have been around that time.
3.75 or something.
Yeah, bro, OCR's going down. Good for interest rates. Like, you know, if you want to buy a house or have a mortgage at the moment.
Yeah, real good for interest rates.
Yeah.
Expected though.
3.75.
Yeah, that's what I saw come through.
Damn. I think the last one was 4.25, eh?
Was that 50 basis point drop?
Yeah, bro, that's quite a bit.
That's yeah, nice. Very nice.
Because I think we're hovering at like 4.5 for a while.
Yeah, 3.75, bro.
Oh, man.
That was the forecast too.
This is not financial advice, but if you have a mortgage, go chat to your mortgage broker and see if you can get a better interest rate. If you're, if you're able to refix, that'd be ideal. We'll just wait for Hadi to sort this out.
Back to that talking about how the property market dropped when you got out, Hadi. That's when I bought my property. Was at the peak.
Actual.
Yeah. And now, I'm not I'm potentially trying to sell it now back home.
Yeah.
And
Bro,
the agents are like, oh, it's still the same. Oh. I'm like, what? It's been 3 years, cuz. But yeah, it's
what
crazy.
was your interest rates on that at that point? Oh, you were cashed in, eh? Fuck, what a guy. Buys a property all cash.
It's freehold, that one, cuz.
My guy, cuz. Oh, good on you, bro. That's an achievement and a half, eh?
But yeah, buying at the peak of COVID, because I wanted to just lock in land back home, because I was still in Aussie.
True.
And I just wanted to lock in something back home.
Yeah.
So you didn't have that patience.
Yeah, you should have waited for that higher low, cuz.
My emotions were high.
Impulsive, eh? Impulse entry.
It's hard to be impulsive about buying a property.
This is what AI has to say about us. You have a housing crisis, a healthcare crisis, a cost of living crisis, and a brain drain problem.
I see
But
no
hey,
lies.
at least you got bird of the century, right?
Oh, you mother.
Unfazed, brother. Lions, don't lose sleep over the shit. We're the shit. The entire country has the energy of a small town Facebook group where someone's constantly complaining about teenagers doing burnouts at 3 a.m.
That one hurt a little bit.
That one little. For a country that loves to brag about being clean and green, it sure enjoys poisoning its rivers with cow piss and pretending climate change is someone else's problem.
That's not even us! That's the cows!
Piss off, AI!
Where do you want them to go toilet?
Attack our
Guys,
farmers.
we're crashing out. We're crashing out right
yeah,
now.
good.
We're crashing out right now. New Zealand's idea of nightlife is a kebab shop that closes at 9:30 p.m. and a drunk 19-year-old fighting a road sign.
Go.
No, that's crazy though, eh? Like, that's actually
It's
crazy.
so accurate, though, eh?
But it's so true. Like, you have all of those crises happening within New Zealand, and like cost of living's way high, but also like you're making nothing
Yeah.
having a job there.
Yeah.
Like, it's the minimum of minimum wages.
Bro, yeah. Everyone's just leaving the country, eh? Everyone's just coming over here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, better lifestyles, better cost of living. Just makes sense to move over to Aussie if you want to make more money and have a better life. Man, these guys are in the higher highs right now. Get out of New Zealand, who's in the higher lows.
No, like, to be honest though, like, I think that Australia has like the fourth best economic.
True.
What do you call it?
Economy.
System? Yeah, fourth best economy in the world or something like that. That's what I was reading, or I seen an ad about it or something, which is crazy. But like, Australia is so good with their money.
Yeah.
They just have jobs for everyone. You know, it's just expanding because they're creating, you know, high rises, which brings in so much jobs.
True.
You know, for people.
They got the bigger industries here, though. The mining industry and that. Like that's the backbone of the country, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her relationship with China, eh?
Whereas ours was tourism, you know.
Yeah.
And over COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that those are big differences.
Yeah.
And population, obviously, as well.
Yeah. You notice it on the charts too. I was just like having a little gander at the NZ USD, and like over New Zealand summer, you can see like the chart go up just because, you know, tourism's coming in, we're getting more money into the dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are, you know, the fundamentals you want to keep an eye on.
When it's summer, invest in New Zealand dollar.
When it's winter, sell it all.
Sell it and move.
Yeah, crazy.
It's not financial advice.
Yeah, but that's like the whole fundamental game is, you know, just understanding that within the market, and having an idea of, like, I don't think it's hard. Personally, I don't think it's hard to get a grasp on, you know, what a country's trying to do. They're not going to like make it happen, you know, overnight. It's going to be a gradual period. You know, what are they trying to do in the long term? What is, for example, Donald Trump trying to do in the long term? You know, he's always been about, you know, make America great again.
Yeah.
How's that going to happen? You know, how does he make America be on top again, with obviously like BRICS coming in and you know, everyone wanting to step away from using their American dollar. You know, what can he do to bring everyone back to using that American dollar and obviously bring value within the American dollar, because obviously if he just keeps devaluing, he's not going to be doing what, pretty much he's said.
Yeah. That's
cra-
why he's bringing in all those tariffs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, crazy.
It's been crazy watching gold, since like even leading up to him, and then when he's been in, it's just ranging.
Yeah.
Just that uncertainty of
Yeah.
other countries are like, ooh,
Yeah.
what's Uncle Donald up to?
And like you can see technically as well on gold, how price is pushing up according to market structure, high highs, high lows.
Yeah.
And guaranteed everyone that doesn't understand fundamentals has no idea why that's happening. Like they have no idea that China or Russia are just building their gold stock because, what's to come. They having, Donald Trump as president is, very uneasy on a lot of countries because he's very unpredictable,
Yeah, because there's been some good volume in Asia, like last week and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy volume.
It's China though. Hey, that's China buying gold, which is increasing their value. It's easy though. Like once you understand that, or like once you know something that's happened, something that's potentially coming, it's so easy to read. And if you go through the chart, and we've been over this a few times, I think when you first come over and we're doing like the first couple of potties.
Yes, yeah.
And we're
That
looking
was
at
before Trump was coming in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was way before.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, like you can have a look at the gold chart, and before it actually did this high, like it was sort of stopping around 2047, somewhere around there, and that was the high. It couldn't go higher than that. But when you see there's 3 different points on the gold chart that it peaks that high, and that's like, what was the first one? 2020. So I think the first one was COVID. When COVID happened, it peaked that high on gold. World catastrophe, whole world sort of shut down.
Yeah.
I think the next one was it the war?
Yeah, Ukraine.
The Ukraine war. Peaked it again, pushed up to the high, and then, sort of sold off. And then the next one after that, I think, was the collapse of Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Peaked up there and then dropped again. And all 3 of those events are, fundamentals. It's world events. It has nothing to do with technical analysis.
You caught that war, the Ukrainian war one, didn't you?
Yeah. So this one, I was in Queenstown at the airport and I'm waiting to board my flight. Whilst I'm boarding my flight, I just keep getting alerts on TradingView, and I'm looking at my phone and gold had just pumped, bro. Like absolutely, like just 1 minute or 5 minute candle was just going, and then it dropped down and then it pushed back up. I think it was at like 2063 is where I got in, and I went into a salvo, and like from there it just started dropping, and then I was legit on the plane, seated, and we're about to take off. I still had didn't put my flight mode on, and so like I'm still looking at it, bro, and I'm like, bro, I would have been up about 8% on that trade, and it happened all in like the space of 30 minutes.
Damn.
And I'm like, am I going to get out? Because I'm not going to have no internet on the plane. Am I going to get out? Or am I going to hold this, bro? And I shat my pants, got out, bro, and then I got off the plane and had it dropped like another 200-300 pips. And I was just like, oh my God. And from that point, you can go have a look. I think it was around the 20th of May. Must have been 2022 or 2023. One of those. Sorry, I don't know off the top of my head. But from that point where I got in at 2063, where it dropped all the way down to like 19.
Oh.
It must have been 1800.
Damn.
Yeah. And like I could have held that right from there for like 2 months or 3 months or something. Yeah, because it was that May. And then after that, like after the drop, when the Israel-Palestinian war started coming out, I was getting those alerts, bro, like on the weekend, and like seeing it come out.
Like fundamental alerts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like this was a sad day. And then on the Sunday, I was at the gym with one of the lads in Wellington and Thorndon.
Yeah.
And I'm getting them, and I'm like, holy shit, like there's a war going on. And from previous of, what I knew about gold and war and, all the world catastrophes that had happened with gold, I told him, bro, and I was like, bro, as soon as like Monday market opens, get in. And like Monday open, it was 11 o'clock. I was ready on my phone, like trying to tap, get in. It wouldn't let me get into a trade until like 11:03.
True.
Bro, I don't know why. Like, it was pissing me off. And, like, the spread was massive. Bro, I was gutted. Anyway, ended up getting into a trade, I think, at about 1832.
Damn.
Something like that, bro. And, like, you can go back. You can have a look. It was in October something. Must have been October 20th, 21st, something like that. You can go back, have a look. And you can see, like, as soon as it opened on that Monday, just a massive candle, and we haven't been back there since. And we're now at, 2009? What are we, 2,900 or 2,800? 2,930, bro, and, like, I gotten into a trade at 1832.
How many lots did you get in on that one?
I was only in on, like, 5 lots.
Damn, but still, if you had held that for a year... You should try that now, cuz you should just buy 5 lots now and just let it go.
Hold it.
Yeah.
I mean, not now, but
Just be impulsive.
Yeah.
if we end up coming down, like once everything sort of settles with the whole Trump debate and whatever, if we end up coming down on gold and getting that retracement on the daily trading range that we've been marking out and waiting for ages. Once we come down, bro, it's like as soon as I see that change of character, higher time frame, I'm going in and I'm holding.
Yeah, nice.
Like 6 months, 10 months.
Yeah.
Who knows,
Yeah.
But like I think we're definitely going to be going up into the 3,000s, like this year, 100%. Whether or not we do that within the next like month, just with everything going on, tariffs, all of that, who knows? But if we don't and we end up coming down first, then it's like 100% guarantee that throughout the year, whether it ends up being like late in the year, we're definitely going to 3,000.
Yeah.
That's wild, bro. I haven't seen gold that because, I just haven't traded that long. But to know it was at that price and to see like where we are now, it's wild.
Yeah.
What's the lowest you seen gold at? 2,000 and...
Lowest I've seen gold is like 1,600.
That's wild, bro.
Oh, caudal trainer.
Yeah.
Trader.
Back in my day. Bro, you know what's crazy? When I first started trading, I had, started doing videos and that on TikTok. I had like no following whatsoever.
Yeah.
And these old dudes ended up finding me. And I was going live on YouTube. And there was this guy that had been trading for ages, but he was a cool cat. He wasn't actually trading like heaps. Like he'd been trading for like 20 years, but he wasn't trading like live accounts, like heaps of money all the time. He was talking to me about fundamentals at this point. Not necessarily in the way that we're talking about them now, but, this is going on in the world. Like usually gold is, does this.
True.
I remember this distinctly because we're on live chat, and he was just asking me like what sort of trades I'm getting and how long do I hold them, and I was like, I'm getting the trades, probably going in the trade and holding for about an hour, 2 hours, maybe, just trying to win profit and then get out. Like I just had a breakout strategy at that point, like super early in my career. At the time that we were on the call, price was at 1630.
Damn.
And he said to me, he's like, I'm going to go into a trade now, and my stop loss is going to be below 1600, so like 1599.
Yeah.
I said, to me that was like big. That's like a 300 pip stop loss. And like I was still trading as if I was doing like 10 to 20 pip stop losses.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like, you know, what's the reason behind that? And he's like, it's never going back to 1600.
True.
This was his words. It's like, it's never going back to 1600. And I was like, how do you know that? You know, because like we're still only at 1630.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
you know, it could just come back.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, it's not. It's just going to keep going. Bro, it just left.
That's crazy, man.
Did you tell him, oh, why you got a stop loss then?
Bro, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Advanced techniques, Kelsey. But no, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I haven't been able to like chat with him like since then, but I remember it because he was like, yeah, it's never going back to 1600.
All right.
And in my head, I'm like, now I'm like, you know, hindsight.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, bro.
The man knew the fundamentals. Or he's a time traveler.
Yeah, it's crazy. Those are sort of like my experiences with fundamentals. But going through that type of experiences, you just know that now fundamentals work. And I was like, as soon as I traded my first like red folder, and at that point it was like a basic understanding for me, because when you look on Forex Factory, you look at what they forecasted it to be, what the actual was, and then what the previous was. And so where like before news is happening, you're looking at the forecast and then you're looking at the previous and sort of trying to gauge a probability of what they're forecasting and whether it's going to be good or bad for the dollar. And then, you know, making your analysis of there of, you know, what gold or whatever is going to happen. And at that point, I found it like very easy just to be looking at those numbers and creating a decent probability formula in my head to, you know, sort of be like, well, like, what's the chances that it's going to do this? Like, how often has it done this? On average, like, what's it going to come down to? And like, I mean, it sounds like it's high tech, but it's not. You know, like you can look at something and like pretty much guess, you know, like chances are it's going to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like from that, I was just trying to figure out whether or not it was going to be good or bad for the dollar. And if it was going to be good for the dollar, I was going into gold sales. And if it was going to be bad for the dollar, I was going into gold buys.
Yeah.
And then I figured out NAS and US30 moved very, very similarly to that. And then ended up trading all of them all at the same time.
Crazy, man, honestly.
For a little hack that I do, I'll screenshot all the months of, you know, the probability going through that. Uncle ChatGPT, and I'll just to see if what I'm reading is, you know, kind of like a confluence, you know, and it'll spit out those the probabilities of
What it's going to do.
yeah, what it potentially can do.
Damn, that is a hack.
You know, because we go through the months, and if it's Feb, then you'll go down to a Feb and be like, oh, this is what it did in that February last year type thing, and this is just
That's a good way
just
to
quickly
look at it.
spits it out.
Yeah, nice.
Just another just to make sure you feel like you're on the right track.
Yeah. That's mean.
Helps with your decisions too, eh? And that's the power of AI these days. Like it's nuts.
I'm not asking ChatGPT which way is it going to go.
Do I buy or sell?
I'm just saying, you know, this is the data.
Yeah.
I want to know the probability, and it just quickly rounds it up.
And Chatty can like look deep into fundamentals for you as well. So if it's like NFP, it'll give you like statistics on like, you know, people who have been unemployed in the States over the last month or whatever. You know, look at LA fires, all that kind of stuff, and take that into consideration.
It's crazy. It's a powerful tool, man.
Shark shit.
It's super powerful. And like people underutilize it too. But what I think people have to understand as well is that ChatGPT has access to the entire internet.
Yeah.
And so when people will put, like America, for example, all their media sources, they're putting all of these predictions online. You know, analysts are, you know, putting their statements online and everything like pre-news. And ChatGPT can just take all of that consideration, give you a summary of it, and pretty much just give you a rundown on what overall the whole internet is thinking. And like it's
crazy.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling, man. And like this has just come in within the last year to be able to use that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hacker. But how would you suggest like beginners or people that are wanting to learn fundamentals, how would you suggest to go about it? Like, you know, how do I start learning about fundamentals? Obviously, there's Forex Factory, but like people probably just jump on there and see the time and then just know like, oh, we're going to get some volume here. But how do you read like, you know, all those numbers and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's a tough one. And like, to be honest, no one really talks about fundamentals online. No one really teaches people how to think about fundamentals online. You do. Yeah. Like, don't want to plug it. Yeah, but the thing is that like realistically you have to learn from someone that knows it.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's myself or someone else that you can find that can teach fundamentals. It's a very specialized skill to have that understanding, and it's very hard to find how to learn to read fundamentals properly online. I mean, yeah, like you can look up YouTube and stuff, but it's very generalized information.
Yeah.
You know, to understand it and how to use it with your technicals is pretty much the key to success in day trading. You know, if you can understand the entire thing, and I think you've mentioned in previous podcasts about being like a holistic trader.
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah. Having everything in your arsenal so that you can make those better decisions. Even with Forex Factory, like it gives you that information, but it's like, what do you do with the information?
Yeah.
You know, here's the information, but like, how do you use it to your advantage? Yeah. It's definitely something that you're going to have to invest money into. If you are going to want to learn fundamentals. Yeah,
because you've got like a whole section on the EPA about fundamentals and using that with technicals and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've done a whole course on fundamentals, what it is, how to read it, how to use it with your technical base, how to implement it into your trading plan and your everyday analysis, which is something that I've been working with George on for the last month.
Yeah. Game changer.
Right, yeah, and you've improved a heap, so
Just like confidence in the analysis that we send out daily, like it's just crazy.
yeah,
Just it's been a game changer for me.
yeah,
It's crack up, bro. Like seeing heaps of people in the EP now that are just starting, and they look at their analysis and like, oh, like zones are just being hit, bro. Like this is crazy. But that's all it is. It's like taking those two aspects of trading, putting them together, and marking out the zones that we have, because the key levels that should be hit before, you know, areas are, you know, price is going to push off. It's nuts. Like, yeah, and like from my perspective as well, like teaching other people like yourself, like I can see the change. I can see the change in like your whole how you look at the charts now.
Yeah.
Which is exactly how I look at the charts, but it's exactly what we wanted, you know, to get you to the point to.
Yeah.
And it was funny because he said to me a couple of weeks ago, he's like, bro, it's like blowing my mind, like seeing this happen day in, day out.
sure. Just like levels being hit constantly, consistently.
Yeah, especially when we're drawing up like literally like the path tool and it's like following it. I'm like, oh, what? Magnets.
He's
But like it's not even a secret recipe, you know, like, there's no secret to trading.
Yeah.
It's just understanding as much as you can, and fundamentals is literally the key to understanding why the market should push here. You know, like imagine you had, knew a reason like why something was going to happen. You know, and like what would your confidence level in getting into whatever it's going to be? You know,
Yeah.
like, oh, price should push here because this, and this.
Yeah.
And here's technicals pushing this way, and it's creating this, and this.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
boom. You know, no second guessing. You're just into the trade, and away you go.
I think a good example of that is like when the Nvidia stock went down. you know?
Yeah.
And the key reason why it went down is because all this news came about with this new AI that was DeepSeek, you know, the new Chinese AI, and they're not using like the NVIDIA chips and all that kind of stuff. And so everyone that was, you know, buying NVIDIA, they were like, man, how is China making all this stuff without the chips that NVIDIA is providing, or like, you know, all the latest tech? And so NVIDIA stock just went, bow.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it just like plummeted just because like I think people were saying like there was no need for like this high tech anymore. If you're gonna get like DeepSeek, which is it's like ChatGPT,
Yeah.
just the Chinese version, costs way less to make, and you know, uses way less energy, less resources, but can provide you, you know, a similar level that ChatGPT does, but without using like NVIDIA technology. So
Yeah.
yeah,
A more efficient
yeah,
AI.
yeah.
It's crazy.
And so everyone just started selling their stock. They're like, dang,
Yeah.
it's useless now. We don't, you know, need this. But now I think NVIDIA's starting to climb back up because all these other fundamentals are coming about China stealing technology and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. It's getting a bit spicy, so
See, that's the thing though. Like the stock market is heavily involved with fundamentals.
bro, it's all fundamentals. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, you do see a technical aspect to it, but that's because like the market is controlled by human trading.
Yeah, all influenced by people.
Yeah, and like every single human is gonna have like levels in their mind. They're like, you know, it gets to that level and they're like, oh, like it's gone down enough, we can go up from here, or it's gone up enough. Yeah, I'm getting out of this trade, and it ends up going down. Like it's, yeah. When you think about it like that way, human psychology along with fundamentals, it's crazy. But then people look at the stock market and know that it's fundamentally based. But then we'll look at Forex and gold and like, no, it's just technical. Like I'm just a technical trader. How?
Until news.
Then I'm a gambler. But yeah.
Yeah, if you want to learn about fundamentals, there's a great resource online that's called Ambitious Investing.
Yeah. Yeah. Big plug.
Nice.
No, but facts though, like if you really want to dive deep into your fundamental analysis and marry that with your technicals and create a better edge, then definitely start looking at, you know, investing in yourself and doing that through the EP, because you will learn so much. Like myself and Jordan, 100%. I've learned so much from this man over here. So, you know.
Mad love.
Yeah.
Let's go. But yeah, team, that's everything about the fundamentals. Fundamentals is key to improving your trading. If you want this to be a long-term thing and you want to be making consistent money, it takes everything. It takes everything from trade plan, risk management, fundamentals, technicals. You got to be an all-round trader to be doing this on a consistent basis. And I know there's a lot of stuff on social media where, you know, people say that they're just technical based, but it's not real. It's not real at all. It's crazy. Like it's the social media trading stuff is not real. But yeah, be an all-round trader. If you want to take this seriously, you can make a ton of money. But fundamentals is key. So learn it, put it into your arsenal, and
Pause.
use it.
Bro, you said it during the potty. Like,
Did I?
everything in your arsenal, and I was like, my top lip was going. I was like, oh.
Cut that. But yeah, lose fundamentals. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. God damn, bro.
We'll see you guys in the next one.
Trading highs, oh what a ride. From doubt and fear to joy inside. With every lesson learned I grew and Vicious investing pulled me through. One night I made 28%. Now it feels like